are here chatting with some of the people from our group. How does that make you feel?
Well, freedom of speech includes everybody, right? So it includes protesters. They may have a different voice, and that's fine. This is what freedom is about, that people who have a different voice than us are allowed to speak, and they're not thrown in jail.
Yep. So freedom of speech. Yes. Now, how do you feel about the disruptions today? So, it was a bit hard to hear you at times, depending on where a person was standing. It was a bit hard to hear the program. How do you feel about disruptions, and what would be your preference going forward?
Well, of course, it was a little annoying, but this is a lesson learned for us. The next time, we'll invite them to speak for 3-4 minutes and voice their opinion of why they're protesting. And maybe, hopefully, after that, they can allow us to speak.
Uninterrupted.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually chatting with some of them, and I'm sensing they may actually share some of our concerns, and we may have some common ground. It would take some discussion to clarify that, but I'm actually seeing the potential that the group that was here today to support you and this event, and the group over there making some noise, I'm actually sensing we have common ground. Do you see that potential as well?
Of course. The First Nations, we will have to sit down once we achieve the route to independence. There will be negotiations taking place, and we have to do it. We have to sit down, discover what their annoyances are or their issues, and accommodate them to the best of our ability. They also have a right to come and talk to us. It's incumbent. The law says it's incumbent on them to come and discuss their issues with us, and hopefully an independent Alberta would also give them independence as much as they desire. They prefer not to be shackled by the federal government either. They want to be set free.
You bring up a good point there. Now, I did notice the presence of some media here, Jeevan, and I noticed you speaking with some of the media, and I recorded some of your interview. What's your thoughts about the media being here? Are you glad they came? What medias did you notice were here?
So freedom of the press is very important, and it's the mainstream media that was here, CTV, Global, and CBC. It was disappointing that the independent journalists could not be here, such as Rebel News. Oh, and Western Standard was here too, so I'm glad Western Standard has an independent journalist who was here as well. So Rebel News and probably Key and Baxter, these types of independent journalists could have been here.
Well, speaking of independent journalists, is that what you would call yourself?
Citizen Free News. I've been doing it since 2007.
Can I put you on Facebook Live for a moment?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeevan, for that, and thank you for. It was a pleasure working with you on this rally. It was an absolute pleasure. And so, tell our viewers a bit about what you do.
Okay, I paint about the news stories of the day these days, but since 2007, I've been giving voice to Albertans from all walks of life. As a civil information activist, this is a better word for what I call what I do. Respect all people, property, and the rule of law. And I've been giving voice to many, many since.
Well, it's good to see you here today. Were you here for the whole rally, or you got here late?
Rally, I was back there with my canvas and my painting, and some of the participants here today, from both sides, I would say, helped me add paint to the backside.
Oh, how interesting. Well, what a way to bring different groups together is painting. I find actually music is a way to bring different groups together as well. We might be from different political views, but perhaps we enjoy the same music, and that's okay, right?
Art is a profound way of bridging the gaps between a lot of differences between people, whether it's painting, music, dance. If it's creative, it brings people together. Everyone loves art. It joins us. It brings us together.
So when you think of the different views here today, like when I look at the core message of the rally here, where I So when it comes to groups with different perspectives, so here in this group, our core message is we want independence for Alberta. What were the messages, what were the core group messages from the other group there?
Now, I did not put on my Free Press hat today. I was down here to paint. I didn't even know this rally was going on today. I was just going to relax for the afternoon and paint. I listened from the distance. I heard a lot of different opinions, a lot of, like, it almost sounded like some battles going on here. There seemed to be some anger, some division going on. So I didn't really tune into what I was hearing from any side. But what I can tell you is what I've learned inside this Alberta legislature, where I live day and night sometimes. And our premier, who has brought forward a bill called the Sovereignty Act for a United Canada. I think that democracy in Alberta, I think the majority of Albertans that elected this government stand by this government. At the time when she was elected, I don't know what the atmosphere is like right now. I don't know what how the feelings are towards Daniel Smith right now. But at the beginning, those policies that were put in place by this party and democratically elected, I think it's a good idea myself. A Sovereignty Act for a United Canada. I think it's wonderful. And that's what I interviewed you on some years ago, or how long ago, I can't remember when it was. But I do admire your work as a journalist yourself, and thank you for doing what you do.
Yes, well, there was quite the event here when the Sovereignty Within a United Canada Act was presented, and so I came here and I was part of a rally in support of that legislation.
That's right.
And it was interesting that day because we had people here counter protesting our message, and it was a very interesting day. Yeah, I actually, even today, I looked at a sign from that event. It's in my garage, and it says, "We love Daniel Smith," and it's got little hearts on it. And I made that sign quite some time ago for that event, and I've had that sign brought out at a few different events. I almost brought it today, but my van was already pretty full. It was pretty good. So let's just say that I'd like to get into legislature more often and sit in the gallery and listen more often to the sessions. Can you give a bit of guidance on if people do want to visit legislature and sit in the gallery, what's the process for being able to do that? Because my understanding is it can't just be anybody walking in without ID. There's a bit of a process there.
Yes, there is a process. We're at the Alberta Legislature right now, and the West Wing is just over my right shoulder here. We go through the West Wing. You're going to meet up with some friendly sheriffs, some LASS staff, and they're going to put you through the process of security just to make sure everything is kept safe and copacetic. We've had instances over the years where they've had to beef up the security here, and rightfully so. But they make it very easy. They've made it quite easy for myself to practice free press, and I find that the LASS staff, the Sergeant Guard staff, the Alberta Sheriffs, they work together to give Albertans every possible chance to walk inside this legislature, sit in Nathan Cooper's Assembly Gallery, and watch the process of democracy unfold before our eyes.
So what's your favorite times in legislature? Is it question period, maybe the beginning introductory remarks when they greet the people in the gallery? What's your favorite time?
My favorite time of the day is when points of order are addressed and we hear the apologies by members who behave badly. I'm very concerned about the decorum inside this legislature because it reflects on our democracy. And if MLAs are behaving badly, then they're making it bad for all of us. So that's my favorite time of day. It's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon after session. That's the time I love to pay attention to the most. And I'm all done with my notes at that point. And I want to see who's apologizing for saying what, for why, for what reasons.
Well, in the times that I've spent in gallery, I've always enjoyed it. I actually really like the introductory remarks times because that's the time sometimes the backbenchers will get up and they'll have a special message and near the intro time. So that's one of my favorite times. Well, thanks for sharing with us today. Do you want to show everyone your painting?
Yes, this is called the Honorable. Well, this is depicting the Honorable Speaker Nathan Cooper. It is called Point of Order, and I started this 2 years ago. And on the back, it's the disorder.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you come here to the legislature grounds from time to time, and you paint.
Yes. And
what an interesting concept.
People have helped me paint this so far.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting concept. It almost makes me wish I lived in Edmonton so that I could come here and hang out at the legislature grounds and paint, or do my other art hobbies. I've got a few. I'm thinking we will call this closed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm seeing the crowd dispersing, and now I'd like to go put my stuff away. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Benita Peterson with Alberta Conservative Association. You can reach me at petersonbenita@gmail.com at 780-349-0181. You can call or text, or reach me through Facebook. My Facebook page is Benita Peterson. Plus, I have a Facebook page called Alberta Independence Movement. So thanks a bunch for tuning in. Please share out this broadcast. Make sure you go to the albertaprosperityproject.com website and sign up to show you support sovereignty, and explore that website. There's places there you can sign up as a volunteer, you can donate, you can learn. You can learn about the advantages of an independent Alberta. You can learn about the disadvantages of staying in Canada. Out of all the groups that are supporting independence for Alberta, Alberta Prosperity Project, I feel, has the most members and momentum. So let's support this group. We can still support other groups as well. All right, let's be in touch. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Benita Peterson, and I hope to engage with you soon. Bye for now.